Hey everybody, it's Dr. Heather Cardin coming to you live from Overland Park, Kansas. I'm super excited to be here this week to help you learn more about ketones and the Prove It products and how they can help you optimize your life. Prove It really focuses a lot on education, so every Wednesday we've had a different specialist coming to you live to help you understand better about ketones, the ketone technology, and what Prove It products can do for you. So a little bit about myself in case you don't know me. My name is Dr. Heather Cardin. I am the co-owner of Cardin Center for Wellness. I practice alongside my husband and have been practicing for almost 20 years. We have a very functional, integrative style of medicine. We've been teaching a low-carb, high-fat diet for almost 20 years and living it ourselves in our home with our 4 children. I've taught a ketogenic diet as an adjunctive therapy and studied ketones really over the last 10 plus 15 years. Goes by super quick. So while we are letting our friends join, know that it's just now 1 o'clock up straight. You can share this to your friends. You can send a reminder that we are here to help answer their questions on the Prove It product. So again, super excited to be here. I'm not going to make any medical claims. Prove It's not making any medical claims. I'm here to simply help you understand more. I want to say hello to everybody out there from the US to Canada to world of Australia over there across the pond. And again, really excited to be here and looking forward to seeing all of you at Keto Academy here in just a couple of weeks. So as we get started, we're going to just start with the basic. What are ketones and what's the big conversation about? Ketones are simply our native fuel. Our body knows how to burn them. We know that we need energy for every single cell in our body. Most of us have been running on glucose, which comes from carbohydrates. Carbohydrates have really been the staple of the standard American diet. So when you're eating carbohydrates, your body breaks them down and we use glucose for fuel. When your body in the past has had the opportunity to use ketones for fuel, we've either had to go on a ketogenic diet, which is a super low carb diet, and it can take you really days or weeks to get into ketosis, or you've been on a starvation diet, or some elite runners just really run through their glucose pretty quickly and they're always in ketosis. So in the past, to be fat adapted, we've had to go on a stringent diet. We've had to almost be in starvation or be an elite athlete. Well, why would someone want to do this? It's because ketones are a superior fuel. Ketones actually provide more oxygen. They give about 3 more ATP. And just think about ATP like gasoline you put in your car. So if you have a fuel source that gives you more energy, it makes sense your body's going to run better. They actually help reduce inflammation. Ketones can actually reduce the amount of blood sugar released. And we know we have a lot of problems these days with type 1, type 2, and type 3 diabetes. Ketones are an anti-inflammatory, they're neuroprotective, they actually help aid in fat loss, they're amazing signalers, which we're going to hear more about at Keto Academy. So I am super excited to be here. And so we talked about what a ketone is. It is simply a byproduct of fatty acid metabolism. When our body's in a low glucose state, it will go grab those fat cells and pull the white fat out, turn it into brown fat, and make it and use it for heat. When that happens, our body's in a metabolic state called ketosis, which means we're using ketones for fuel. Now, since really September 2015, for the first time ever, you can see I'm super excited, we can simply drink a white powder and get into ketosis within less than an hour. No more waiting days or weeks, no more having to really be super strict on what our macros are, paying attention to every single food we put in our mouth, pay attention to our sleep, if we're oversleeping, undersleeping, maybe over-exercising. Now we can simply drink a white powder and get all the benefits of ketosis. And Prove It product has the ketone body, beta hydroxybutyrate. Our body can make 3 different ketones. We can make acetoacetate, acetone, and beta hydroxybutyrate. But beta hydroxybutyrate, which I'll refer to as BHB, actually gives the most amount of energy and is an amazing fuel source. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to get ready to start answering some questions here so we can help you learn a little bit more about Keto OS and Prove It products and KETO Kreme. So thank you again for being here. And I saw a question asking, can someone with high uric acid levels use ketones? Hilda, the answer is yes, because we have related, high uric acids have not been related to high ketone levels. And with Keto OS and Biomax, it's actually an exogenous ketones, which means our liver doesn't have to do anything, our kidney doesn't have to do anything. We simply drink it. It's water soluble. It gets into our bloodstream, can actually help lower uric acid levels because we know ketones actually inhibit some inflammatory processes. So Audrey's asking if it's safe to take. So when I talk about ketones, I say ketones are safe womb to tomb. That's because we know babies are born in ketosis. Babies actually stay in ketosis even after birth as long as they're being breastfed. The minute that we introduce food or formula, the babies generally come out of ketosis. We also know as we age, our brain actually prefers using ketones for fuel over glucose. So I generally say ketones are safe womb to tomb, but always check with your medical doctor before adding any new supplementation to your diet. So Liz is asking about a recent kidney stones. So Liz, that's a great question. With a true ketogenic diet where your body's actually grabbing that fat and your liver's making ketones, those are called endogenous ketones, there has been some associated risk with kidney stones. But with Keto OS, you do not have to change your diet. You don't have to be on a low carb ketogenic diet. Simply any diet you choose, you can drink the Keto OS product, which is water soluble, and you will simply get all the benefits of ketosis. But again, check with your doctor. Oh, Shelly, love that question. Why would you take ketones if you're already in ketosis? So Shelly, I love this question. I get it quite a bit. We know that it's a really, really balancing or a hard balancing act to stay in ketosis once you're there, because there's so many things that can disrupt our own natural state of ketosis. Like we talked about, too much sleep, not enough sleep, a lot of hormones like insulin and leptin and ghrelin, cortisol, all those things can actually overstress our body and take us out of ketosis when we're in a natural state. We can use Keto OS and Max as an amazing tool to help keep our natural state of ketosis at a more steady state. You'll see a lot of clinical studies showing that people actually perform better when they've got a little higher elevation of ketones. So adding Keto OS or Max into a fat adapted body will actually raise those levels and help you have a more steady state, and really gives you I would say, a more relaxed state of ketosis. So you're not so worried about every single macro that you're putting in your mouth, and it gives you a little more flexibility in your diet. Some of these questions come pretty fast if you guys don't know it. So Susan's asking, can Keto OS cause weight loss? If so, how fast? Susan, perfect question. Keto OS is not a weight loss supplement. I know we see a lot of amazing stories on the Prove It Facebook page of people having amazing body transformation, but Keto OS itself is not marketed and is not meant to be a weight loss supplement. However, the benefits of ketones lead to fat. How does that happen? Well, most people generally end up overeating or making not the correct choice, maybe grabbing a quick carbohydrate or sugar, either because they're tired or just because they didn't have time to plan. Maybe they have terrible cravings and they just have to give in to them. We know ketones work as signalers to actually reduce craving. We've talked about them being an amazing energy source for our body. So if you have more energy and you have less cravings, it makes sense that you're actually going to eat less of the unwanted, maybe sugary foods. You're going to make better selections. And when you're fuller longer, you're not going to eat as often, which actually lead to weight loss. Ketones are also thermogenic. So as we age, our metabolism starts to slow down. And we know that if we can give our body a superior energy source, it's going to function much better and get rid of some of that unwanted fat that we have stored. I can't answer exactly how much weight because it's so individualized from person to person of what their health goals are. Mary's asking, can ketones help rheumatoid arthritis? So Mary, I'm going to make that umbrella pretty big. You asked specifically about rheumatoid arthritis, but I'm going to open that umbrella to any autoimmune disease, any acute inflammation, whether it's a strain sprain, maybe chronic inflammation from rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, ulcerative colitis, any of those autoimmune conditions. We know that ketones, specifically beta hydroxybutyrate, stops an inflammatory marker called NLRP3 inflammasome, or just simply know that ketones can reduce inflammation while they're in the body. So yes, again, not making any medical claims, that it should help reduce inflammation and pain with someone with an autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis. Sarah's asking, can Keto OS cause headaches or nausea? So there are two things that can happen when you start using Keto OS. Number one, think that your body's been using a carbohydrate diet or a standard American diet. Sorry for the Canadians and Australians, but we have a high carbohydrate diet and our body's running on glucose. When we start using ketones for fuel, maybe it's been a few years since your body's really had the opportunity to use ketones for fuel, there can be a little bit of GI distress as the body's converting that over. The simplest thing is actually to just reduce your serving size of Keto OS or Max. Start with half a serving or a fourth a serving. And then The second question was about headaches. There's a lot of information when you Google ketones and headaches, you're going to see a lot of amazing research that ketones actually can help headaches. However, if you're starting using Keto OS or Max and you develop a headache, my first question would be, how much water are you drinking? We know 79% of us walk around dehydration, and the first sign of dehydration is fatigue and headache. And ketones are also an amazing diuretic. So if you're putting Keto OS or Max in your body, it's used as a natural diuretic in our body. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day, and maybe even a little bit extra if you're using a full serving or 2 servings of Keto OS or Max. Lily says, does it matter if you take Keto OS before or after you eat? So, I'm sorry, Lisa Lily White Sims. So, Lisa, it really depends on why you're using Keto OS. And let's just stop a minute and say, well, what is the best time to use it? So, you'll hear me say 30 minutes before your hangry, hungry, tired, or workout time. So, if you're a person who's really trying to balance out your blood sugar, maybe lose some of that unwanted white fat or have some body recomposition, I would say drink the Keto OS or Max 30 minutes before your meal, because we know that having exogenous ketones in our body while consuming carbohydrates actually reduces less of the blood sugar that's shared. So I would say use it before. I know I like to have people wake up in the morning and have their Keto OS on an empty stomach. You're going to get a lot of great absorption. You're going to start your body off burning fat for fuel. Also, Keto Kreme is a great time to have that in the morning. If you're using it to work out, then I would say 30 minutes before a workout that's a 45-minute or longer workout. But if you're doing like a HIIT workout or a short workout that's maybe only 20 or 30 minutes, then I would suggest taking your Keto OS or Max 30 to 45 minutes prior to that, so you're really in maximal ketosis while you're doing your exercise. If you're an endurance athlete or you're doing 2-a-days, I would suggest adding a second serving in 2 hours past your really elite long workout, because you want to continue to reduce inflammation and preserve muscle mass, because ketones help preserve muscle mass. Heather says, why would someone say they've gained 3 pounds within the first 5 days? Heather, that really probably is just your body getting used to the salts or the ketone salts, and really learning how to reuse those ketones if it's been a little while. So just like with anything, give your body a little bit of time. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water so your body's not holding on to the salt, and maybe just reduce your serving a little bit and really focus on how you feel. The first 5 days is not really about what the scale says. It's really about how your brain is functioning, because ketones give us an energy level right at the side of our powerhouse of our cells, which is called the mitochondria. So look for having maybe more peaceful sleep. And maybe if you've been a restless sleeper, know you get up several times, look for your sleep to be a little bit deeper. Maybe look for that you don't have to hit your alarm in the morning and you're waking up feeling more refreshed. You get through your whole day of work and you come home and you still have energy to do your household things and all your kids' activities and chores. Look for those little things the first 5 to 10 days as your body really starts to get used to burning ketones for fuel. Patty says, do people with the gout risk gout attacks? So Patty, gout they have found actually comes from a high carbohydrate diet or high sugar diet, or that uric acid that we talked about. There's been no correlation that using ketones will increase the occurrence of uric acid or gout. Actually, ketones are anti-inflammatory, so it actually should help reduce some of the inflammation happening or occurring while you're having some type of inflammation like gout. So, Juan is asking ketones and stomach ulcers. So Juan, again, ketones are safe for our body. If you've had a history of GI upset, which most people have these days, if we look at the #1 prescription sold, it has to do with GI distress. If you're a person who's had GI issues for maybe weeks or months or years, just start super slow with the Keto OS and Max, and maybe drink it with something like coconut milk or aloe vera juice, almond milk, hazelnut milk, something like that, just so it helps coat the stomach. But know that Keto OS is water soluble, so you're simply drinking in it and it's getting into your bloodstream in about 20 minutes. That's why you can test your urine in 59 minutes and see that you're in ketosis. And hello again from Ireland. I'm seeing lots of people from all over the globe. This is super exciting how fast the ketone conversation is spreading. We love having you here every single week. And I love all the hearts coming through. Amanda's saying, what are the benefits of cream if there's no ketones? Amanda, keto cream is an amazing source of healthy fats. Most of us are not getting enough fats in our diets. Our brains are 60% or more of fat. Each single cell has what's called a phospholipid bilayer, which actually means it's fat. So when we're using keto cream, our body can take the MCT oil and the coconut powder in there and actually convert that into ketones pretty quickly. So the keto cream is a way to get an amazing dose of healthy fats. You can mix it hot or cold. You can mix it with coffee or tea or put it in a slushy, almond milk, coconut milk, do something fun like that for kids. Again, you can use it any time of the day, morning or night. It allows your body to make its own ketones. Does not have any ketone body in it. Janelle is asking about IBS. So today seems to be a stomach day. So how can ketones help with IBS? We know that ketones are superior fuel. They give more oxygen to our body at a cellular level. We know that the digestive tract needs a lot of oxygen to function properly. We also know that ketones reduce inflammation and they reduce the secretion or release of insulin. So in those three examples, that's really how ketones can help digestion happen, whether it's ulcerative colitis, gastritis, diverticulitis. You want to reduce the inflammation. Itis on the end of anything simply means inflammation, and ketones work at a cellular level. So whether it's knee inflammation or gut inflammation, any itis is inflammation. Beta-hydroxybutyrate, which is a ketone body found in KetoOS and MAX, can reduce inflammation. Donna says, why am I getting diarrhea? So this is also a common question. It's either constipation or diarrhea. So Donna, that can be happening because it's just too many ketones too fast. Your body's not ready for that yet. So simply reduce your serving, or I would suggest that you drink the KetoOS a little bit slower and have a little bit of fat or protein with it. That will slow down the absorption and should actually decrease the diarrhea. Some people have a lot of gut inflammation. So loose stools, as long as it's not crampy, painful, or emergency, can just be your body getting rid of some of that general inflammation that your gut's been holding on to. It's got to get out of your body somehow, and usually it will come in the form of loose stools. But I would reduce that serving size back. Again, add a little bit of food, fat or protein with that, and until your body adjusts, and then increase until you have normal bowel movements. Would MAX cause high liver enzyme? Caitlin, the answer is no. We have not found that in any clinical studies, simply because KetoOS and MAX are water soluble. What that means is that the body doesn't have to convert them. On a normal ketogenic diet, when our body makes endogenous ketones, the liver has to make the ketones. With exogenous ketones, which means outside the body, we made them in Dallas at the lab. Your liver didn't have to do anything. Your gallbladder, your stomach, your pancreas, your kidneys, they didn't have any part of making those ketones. You're simply drinking the byproduct of fatty acid metabolism, which is beta-hydroxybutyrate, putting that right in the body, so it should not raise liver enzymes at all. Oh, Stephanie Milky, hey, a Keto Mom is asking me the difference between KetoOS and MAX. Stephanie, I will do that at the last 5 minutes. So if you give me a little 5-minute hands up, Stephanie, I will go through the differences between those. I'd love to do that for you. So Ryan says, I'm suffering from migraines. Why have been doctors tested positive for dairy and wheat and ketones? So Ryan, great question. All of our products are gluten-free, egg-free, soy-free, nut-free, shellfish-free, and the 3.0 and MAX are dairy-free. The 2.1 has a little bit of dairy just used to help plate the MCT, which is the medium-chain triglyceride, to the beta-hydroxybutyrate. So if you're concerned about gluten-free, all the products are gluten-free. Some of them go so quick. Can you focus on ketones and diabetes? So Elisa, thank you for asking that question. And just in case I don't get your question answered today, I'll go back through and try to answer a few more with my hands. And I know somebody in support has helped me answer those as well. The reason that we see a lot of great clinical research coming out about how ketones can help diabetes or just blood sugar in general is because normally when we eat a carbohydrate, our body reduces insulin, we get glucose, and we use that for energy. What happens in type 2 diabetes is that the body's used up all the insulin and glucose, so they're not able to manufacture that at a healthy level, because every time we have orange juice or apple juice or peanut butter and jelly or pizza or spaghetti, our body has to secrete insulin. When we use fat, our body doesn't have to use any insulin. So studies have shown when we have exogenous ketones like KetoOS or MAX in our body while consuming carbs like bagels and pasta and things like that, our body releases less insulin, which means we have a more balanced or lowered blood sugar, which means we actually get less glucose deposit. Excess glucose really gets deposited as fat. So hopefully that helps explain there. But if not, there's a great explanation in the Help Center. If you go to proveitnow.com, at the very top of the right-hand side, I guess I'm backwards from you guys, there's a question mark with a circle around it. You can open that Help Center up. In the second tab over, it's Health. It will tell you exactly why Keto OS is safe for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. I don't know when we're going to UK. Just stay tuned to the Facebook page. I've seen a bunch of countries asking, when are you coming? When are you coming? I learn when you do. So just stay tuned to the Facebook page. Keep those notifications on. Keep your Prove It Pulse app open to get all those notifications of countries as we start to share with other countries. So Stevie's asking about stevia and artificial sweeteners. So none of the keto products or Prove It products have any artificial sweeteners in there. We use the natural sweetener stevia leaf. If you have a known allergy to stevia, then I'm going to have to let you know that every product that we have is using, for natural sweeteners, we're using stevia leaf in there. So if you've had an allergy to that, then I would say really check with your doctor before using that. So Jill is asking, how do you recommend bringing Keto OS up to your doctor? I want my patients actually being upfront with me anytime they start a new supplement. So I would recommend that if you started any new supplement, including Keto OS, that you actually let them know that you've added something new to your nutritional schedule and that you're wanting to use it, and let them know the reasons you're wanting to use it. But yes, please make sure that your physician is aware that you're using a nutritional product. Shane, it is stevia leaf, not crystals. Sorry, I'm trying to look at some... Okay, love this question. Does Keto OS affect your women's cycle? Keto OS does not have any hormones in it. The Keto Kreme and Max do not have any hormones in it. But we are just now on the surface, or the iceberg, of learning how amazing ketones can be in signaling our brain. We know that our brains are 60% fat, and we know that really the centers for all of our switches for our hormones, whether it's luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, growth hormone, all those are signalers that come from our brain, a couple places called the pituitary and hypothalamus. If we know that ketones are signalers, that's why we're seeing people sharing that they're having better cycles or less PMS. We're seeing men's testosterone levels coming up because we know that ketones are signalers. That research is being studied probably today as we talk about it, but there is no hormones in Keto OS or Keto Kreme or Biomax. It's simply beta hydroxybutyrate with natural flavorings. Sorry, I'm answering, does charge, okay, so Brandy's asking, does charged have more or better effect than non-charged? Brandy, just so you know, she's asking the difference between using a caffeine or a caffeine-free Prove It product. So there are many health benefits of caffeine. You can Google and look those up. Caffeine can help immobilize triglycerides. It can help with our energy support system. It can help keep our body in a little better fat burning mode, but too much of anything is not good either. So if you're a person who loves your coffee, then I might suggest that you actually use the uncharged Keto OS and save your caffeine for your coffee days. Some people don't drink any coffee, so that might be the case where they'd want to use the charged Keto OS that has a little bit of caffeine in it. And the chocolate and the orange have the same amount of caffeine, which is about the same size as a medium Starbucks. And then the Max has less caffeine, which is a contraindication of what I said before. It got clarified from the lab here, so the current information is correct that Max has the least amount of caffeine out of the other two products. It's about the same as a medium Starbucks coffee. Yeah, Alicia is asking about Max as a pre-workout. So we don't label Prove It products or Biomax as a pre-workout, but many people are using it as a pre-workout to help get their body into ketosis, so you're maximally burning fat. Ketones also protect lean muscle mass. So as you work out, you're going to get less inflammation. You're going to preserve your muscle mass a lot better. You're going to perform better because you're getting more oxygen into your body. So it's an amazing source to use 30 to 40 minutes before your workout. Amanda's saying, is Keto OS safe for someone with no thyroid? Amanda, the answer is yes. Every single cell in our body needs energy from our head to our toe. Ketones provide an amazing source of energy to our cells at a cellular level from head to toe. The thyroid is actually the ignition for our body. The adrenal glands are the engines. So it would make sense if you happen to be missing your thyroid or happen to be missing the ignition for our body, that putting a superior source of fuel into our body at a cellular level, our body actually would run much better and much smoother. I'm getting a lot of questions, it seems like, about cancer and ketones. I'm going to let you Google the information between cancer and ketones. PROVE-IT is not making any clinical studies currently. We haven't backed into those clinical studies using ketones and cancer. But coming back from low carb Breckenridge, there are many doctors, PhDs out there studying the effects of ketones in cancer. You can look up ketogenic diet and cancer, and I'll let you Google that on your own. But we know that cancer cells, given the current data and research, again, not provided by PROVE-IT, but what's out there from third-party credibilities, we have heard and read that sugar feeds inflammation, sugar feeds diabetes, sugar feeds cancer. We've also learned that ketones actually can starve cancer. Again, not making any medical claims, to make sure I've said that 3 or 4 times. There's a lot of amazing research out there on the internet that you can actually look up. Oh, you're very welcome. So yes, Carrie says, is it okay to use Keto OS if you're eating a low carb or no carb diet? The answer is yes. You can use Keto OS on any diet at all, whether you're on a gluten-free diet, a grain-free diet, paleo diet, kosher diet, low carb diet, ketogenic diet, dairy-free diet, any of those other words diet you want to say. You can actually use Keto OS to help get all the amazing benefits of ketones, which are neuroprotection, fat loss, better digestion, clearer skin, reduced inflammation, amazing energy, better focus, better recall, better sleep. With any diet at all, you're going to get those benefits of ketones. And that's what's so exciting, is that before we've had to be on that really strict diet that I talked about before, almost a starvation diet, would take days or weeks to get our body into ketosis to get those amazing benefits of ketones. Now with any diet at all, you can simply drink Keto OS or Max and get all those amazing benefits. Debbie says, is it safe for people with high blood pressure? There's also an amazing paragraph in the Help Center, Debbie, on that. But the answer is yes. If you have high blood pressure and maybe you're also on a diuretic, I'm going to recommend that you make sure you drink plenty of water. Check your blood pressure daily. Use the uncharged or caffeine-free version of the Keto OS or Max. I mean, again, just monitor your blood pressure, and your doctor may already have you on a multi-mineral supplement, but just make sure you continue that treatment with your doctor if you do have hypertension. But yes, it is safe. Make sure you're hydrated. Again, I would recommend the uncharged version. So Trudy, we just answered that question about high blood pressure. Hopefully you heard that while you're texting or typing right away. So Pam's asking doses for children. Pam, I love that. And it depends on the age of the child, but generally if you pick up one packet of Keto OS, the orange or the serving is 4.65 teaspoons. So we're in the US, we're going to use teaspoons. It's about 4.56 teaspoons. So I would recommend that you would take 1 teaspoon of the product and mix it with maybe 2 to 3 ounces for a child and just see how they feel. See if you see them having better energy, better moods, better focus, maybe taking a better afternoon nap. You can slowly increase that as they tolerate it. Maybe you've got a middle school kid and they're really using ketones for focus and for energy. Then I'd suggest that you should do sub-serving in the morning, whether it's 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons and really 4 to 6 ounces of water. You can add that second half a serving in the afternoon if kids have practices or they've got music lessons or any activity, all just general homework. You can add that second serving in the afternoon for children. Again, just start slow, maybe a teaspoon. A lot of moms, as they start out, I'll have them shake it up in a 16-ounce bottle so that the moms start with half a serving and then they give a quarter of a serving to each of their kiddos. So just start that way. Again, increase as your body feels it. Kiri, yes, it is safe to use as a diabetic. That is answered in the Help Center. We answered it earlier, but yes, you can use Keto OS with diabetes, type 1 or type 2. Just make sure you continue to monitor your blood sugar. Rebecca, yes, it is easy on the kidneys because it is water soluble. So Jody's asking about gastroparesis and stomach issues. Today is a tummy day. So I think we've got gout about 4 times a day. We covered gout, we covered kidney stones, we covered hormones. We've actually covered a lot of great information today. So I'm going to take the last few minutes here and I'm going to review the differences between the Keto OS products. Crystal, we touched base, yes, on ketones and inflammation too. Thank you for reminding me. Amy, yes, if you've had your gallbladder removed, you can use Keto OS because it is water soluble. We don't need any of your gallbladder enzymes to help us process that. So let's start with the orange swirl. Sorry, I've got my sticker on the top. The orange swirl is 2.1. What the numbers mean is that it's the version that our formulators are always trying to optimize. So the numbers strictly just mean the versions that they've changed. We start with a 1.0, 1.2, 2.0, 2.1. So we're at the 2.1 right now, which is the orange swirl. It has the beta hydroxybutyrate, or the ketone body that we're drinking the product for. It also has MCT, which is an amazing source of energy. Our body will take the MCT, which is a medium chain triglyceride, and convert that into energy as we process the ketones. It does have a little bit of dairy, so it's the only 3.0. Our chocolate and Max are dairy free. This does have a little bit of dairy in it. It's just used to plate the MCT to the beta hydroxybutyrate, and it is flavored with orange essential oils. All of the products come in charged or uncharged. Charged means with caffeine, and uncharged means without caffeine. The 3.0, or chocolate swirl Tootsie Roll, some people say, does not have the MCT oil. So if you've had stomach issues, or maybe you've had your gallbladder taken out, or you know that you've had some stomach issues, the MCT oil could potentially upset your stomach. So we've exchanged the MCT oil with butyric acid. Butyric acid is normally found in things like grass-fed butter. It's an amazing anti-inflammatory. It's a digestive aid. We also have inulin, or chicory root, which is an amazing prebiotic. So if you start drinking the chocolate swirl and you find you're a bit more gassy, that's actually a good thing, because your body's turning on those healthy pre-digestive bugs at the upper part of your stomach. Prebiotic versus a probiotic. Inulin's been used for years and centuries for diabetes and osteoporosis. You can look up that information too on the website, but the chocolate swirl has the same amazing beta hydroxybutyrate ketone body that the orange has in it. And it also has additional amino acids. The Maui Punch Max, I don't have the package, sorry. The Maui Punch Max, I'm holding up cacao, is an amazing Maui Punch flavor. It does not have any MCT. It does not have any butyric acid, inulin, or chicory root, but it does have an amazing amino acids. The amino acids are vegetarian. So when you look at this saying vegan certified, this is a really important topic. People who want to go vegan have made sure that the taurine is not from an animal source. Generally, taurine comes from duck feathers or human hair. And the amazing thing about taurine is it can break down into additional ketone bodies called acetoacetate. So we have a vegan source of taurine and leucine, which are amazing benefits. They're very friendly ketone amino acids that are very ketone friendly. Hopefully that makes sense. So as you work out, or as your body's growing, as your kids are growing, or as you're working out, or as we start to age, it's important to have those extra amino acids that are ketone friendly. What's the difference, Stephanie Milky asked, between the Max and the orange or swirl? The difference is we've taken that same amazing BHB, or beta hydroxybutyrate, we've blended it together, twisted it in a biochemical form that is twice as bioavailable as any other ketone on the market. So Max is the most bioavailable ketone supplement, pure therapeutic exogenous ketone supplement on the market. Comes in an amazing Maui Punch flavor, and some of you may have had the opportunity to get the Swiss Max. So give me a thumbs up if you've gotten to try the Swiss Max. If not, make sure that you grab that on your next order. I'm going to make sure I've answered all those questions. Yes, Sherry, you can take additional probiotics because chocolate has a prebiotic, not a probiotic. So yes, you can take additional ones with it. Keto OS does not replace your meal. It's not a meal replacement. It's not a protein powder. It's not a multivitamin. It's not a probiotic. It's not a B vitamin or multivitamin. It is simply a ketone supplement. So for the first time ever, you can have your body run on a dual fuel source. You can be on a standard American diet. You can have carbohydrates or glucose in your body and also get the benefits of ketones. So it's an amazing source that you can use throughout the day. 1 serving is considered therapeutic. 2 servings is considered optimal. Again, I always want people to start slow and steady. So start with that half a serving, see how your body feels. If you are already fat adapted, then I think you're going to be safe to go with a full serving, and just make sure that you do use or drink a whole plenty of water. Standard measurement is a half a pound per body weight if you're an average American size. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water. I want to thank you guys for being here today, and hopefully I answered most of all of your questions. Some of those are repeats if you jumped on later. Know that you can share this on your Facebook page. You can share with friends or family that maybe want to learn more about Keto OS and Max and Keto Kreme. Oh, I forgot to talk about Keto Kreme. So let's talk. I guess we talked about that in the middle of our segment today, but Keto Kreme does not have any ketone bodies in it. It's MCT powder, it's coconut powder, an amazing patent blend of Ceylon cinnamon. It gives you a healthy amount of healthy fats that you can start your day with or have them in the middle of the day. You can mix it with hot or cold. With that being said, you can mix any of the Prove It products together. I know some people really like to mix the cream and the chocolate. Some people like to mix the orange and the Max. So you can mix and match those throughout the day. You're not just committed to one flavor. If you're in a chocolate craving, then I would say have the Swiss cacao or have some of the 3.0. If you're more maybe in a summer mood and want the fruity punch, have the Maui flavor. But again, you can mix and match those with anything. You can mix them hot. You can mix them cold. You can blend them up with a nut milk if you want to, like a coconut milk or almond milk. Any of those are safe to use. So again, thank you guys for being here. Hopefully we helped answer your questions. If not, please go to the Help Center and look at the amazing information we have there. We have the product labels under product. We talk about the sodium. We talk about why there's dairy only in the orange. The next tab over is called the Health Center. It talks about why ketones are safe for breastfeeding, for pregnancy. It talks about kidneys and safety for liver and all other issues that you may have asked about today. So I want to again thank you for being here, and I want to thank Prove It for really focusing on education, not only on a weekly basis, but also on these biannual events we're having at Keto Academy. So I want to see a big number one of who's going to Keto Academy, which is March 31st, Friday from 9. There's a VIP Thursday night, the 30th, and the 31st is the big event. We have amazing people coming in. You're going to hear from Dr. Dominic D'Agostino, Dr. Mary Newport, Dr. Cunane, Rob Wolf's going to be there, Doc Nally's going to be there, Dr. Jacob Wilson, Dr. Andrew Campitelli, and many more people are going to be there to help us learn more about ketones, where we're going with the ketone conversation, and know that Prove It is still going to lead us to the market and really disrupt what we can do in optimizing our own health today. So again, thank you for being here. It's my pleasure to have all the hearts to you guys. I send them back to you, and I'll see you all at Keto Academy. Thanks for all the ones up there I'm seeing. We'll see you there, and we'll also see you at more. Have a great day.